Well, getting into uni was a dream come true for Atina. But when classes started, she was told, you can't attend. If she studies, she faces deportation, a decision she says could see her killed.
Atina Kashani is a Taekwondo champion. But the 19-year-old's latest battle can't be won through determination or grit.
So many thoughts were going through my head. How am I going to break it to my parents? When we came here, we had a passion. We wanted to achieve something.
Atina and her family arrived in Australia more than 10 years ago when she was 9. They fled Iran and have spent every waking moment building a new life in Australia.
I've always loved school. I've always loved the education system here. In year 10, I decided I actually really love law.
Not only did Atina blitz her Year 12 exams and get an offer to study at Victoria University, she got a fully funded scholarship.
I was so pleased. My parents were crying, holding it up. We're like, it's real. I'm going to be studying this year, starting with all my peers.
Her dream had come true.
2 weeks in, I got a call from immigration, from Home Affairs, saying that I'm not allowed to study.
Atina says she was told because her family's still on a bridging visa awaiting permanent residency, she wasn't allowed to attend class.
I would just pretend to go to uni. I would sit in my car. Third day, I told my parents, it's actually an online. It's online, none of the professors are coming in. I'm actually going to do this online. And I would just sit in my room, put a fake Zoom up and pretend that I was in class.
Can I get judged?
Atina's spent the year working alongside her mum, dad and little brother in the family's kebab shop in their hometown of Roxburgh Park in Melbourne's northern suburbs. They pay taxes and are upstanding members of their community. Atina's also a youth worker and before that worked at Bunnings with her mum.
I remember sometimes 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and just wake up and see, her light is open. And I say, Atina, why not sleeping? I said, Mom, I have to study hard because we don't have visa and I have to get a scholarship. And I said, good luck.
Atina's mum, Fatima.
I studied before. I get the diploma from childcare, business management. I have another friend, exactly same visa, same arrived to Australia, same. But she can go to university and work, but my daughter, no. I don't know why.
Atina even offered to pay the full international student fee just so she could get an education. Instead, she says Home Affairs told her this.
You will be deported. And I just remember breaking down and crying in my car.
Do you think the federal government has a heart?
Yes and no. Mainly no. Before the election, we're telling us that once they're elected, that once they're in power, that they are going to help us.
Years ago, Atina and her family took their fight to local Labor politicians who were then in opposition. She recalls meeting Andrew Giles, who's now the Immigration Minister.
We were invited to his office. He told me, you're very strong and the horrific things that have happened to you, they will no longer be happening in a few years' time when hopefully Labor is elected.
With the promise of permanent visas, they donated money to Labor, even volunteering on election days.
After they were elected, it was not the same. To see my mom come out of every single office crying because none of them were wanting to take any responsibility on all these promises that they made to us all these years ago.
What happens if you go back?
Public execution, 100%, especially for my dad and me and my mom.
If you come outside without hijab, they kill you. They go to jail and kill you.
She's not only book smart, Atina has won 17 Taekwondo medals, but she can only dream about going overseas to represent the country she loves.
I wouldn't be competing for myself, I'll be doing it for my club and Australia. But I can't leave. I can't leave Australia. If I step foot out of here, I will never be able to come back in.
All Atina and her family want is some certainty, because for 10 long years they've lived in limbo and there's no end in sight.
Am I forever going to be stuck here? Am I forever going to be just the girl that works at the kebab shop and does taekwondo, and the cycle just keeps repeating? Because I can't study, I can't leave Australia. What can I do?
The Immigration Minister Andrew Giles told us he won't comment on individual cases. Yet he's happy to pose for photos. The Labor Party happy to accept their donations and have the whole family in red T-shirts handing out how to vote cards. But now, nothing. Atina says her family fled Iran because her father was threatened with execution for speaking out politically. She says Minister Giles promised to help if Labor was elected. The minister can't dodge this for long.